I gotta say, this is a blast from the past. I can't remember when the last time was I actually played this game. I think it was almost 10 years ago, to this date even, shortly before I graduated from high school. This game is Subspace, and oh my god, must have been like 7 years old when I first saw this game. I remember my older brother playing it there. He was under the ID of Flash, and I got to watch him play it for a good amount of time. Needless to say, I didn't really play it too much. All I really did was get like a handful of games in under his account. I didn't really have my own ID at the time. It's kind of what prompted me to make my own ID. But, yeah, I was pretty much under his name there for a handful of games, not very much, and then I chose to go under the ID of Switch there. This is where I originally started my first ID at. And I think I only played like a couple weeks of this game there before I dropped off it. I played it a bit more during high school, and now this game just came out in Steam of all things. Its game is definitely pretty old there, there's no doubt about that. And I just figured what a way to celebrate this occasion, is to kind of show off this game that I have fond memories of. I don't think I played too heavily, but it's kind of hard not to recognize this game, because I played for a good couple of months in high school as well, and it's changed quite a bit since when I originally played it back when I was 7. There was only like maybe a couple of game modes, I guess. There was mainly I did like the capture flag type of team games primarily, and there was like a couple of death matches, I believe. But overall, it was a pretty straightforward game at the time. It's basically an overhead shoot 'em up type of space game where you connect it online with lots of other players and you just shoot each other as so. So let me try to explain this a little bit here. For anyone who may not be familiar with this game, at least with this game mode, this is probably one of the most popular and basically simplest game modes to get into. This one is called Trench Wars. And pretty much all there is to it, you got a ship with basic unique traits. In this case, this ship is basically a one-shot kill on almost anything it can hit. The downside, of course, you can only get one shot off at a time, so you have to be pretty good at aiming with it. And and figure out how your momentum works to kind of aim it properly. Other than that, this is probably one of the simplest game modes that are available, so I decided to start with this. Basically, there's a base up on the top of that circular map that you see there, and there's like a it's kind of a pseudo King of the Hill style. There's like a beacon there you have to tag to have it under your control there, and you need to hold it for like maybe about 2 minutes or so with your team. You're either randomly put on as one of 2, maybe 3 teams, or you can choose to switch to another team of your own if you got enough people to join you on that. If you want to try and be the rogue factor, as it were. Otherwise, you fight for that point, or you could be like me right now, just fly around aimlessly trying to get kills right now. But otherwise, this one's pretty straightforward. There is like 8 different ships with their own abilities, so I will have to rotate through them relatively quickly there. But let's take a quick look at the fortress itself. There's only one path in there, but once you're inside the first layer, it branches off into several different areas, and it looks like a new wave started. So we are basically at the top of this fortress here, and we're fighting for that little blue ball that you see right now. And whichever team can tag it and hold it for like 2 minutes, I believe, can pretty much win the round. And you get like score as such, and it actually keeps track of it for you there. Like, I was on here earlier, and apparently I saved up like about 3,000 points. And I think it's like for seasonal purposes there to determine who places where as far as scoring goes. But otherwise, this is pretty much the starting ship that you can choose from. The Warhawk, I believe it's called, or Warbird even. Like I said, it's got a very powerful one-shot, high-speed type of sniper round, which basically annihilates anything it can hit, with very few exceptions. But of course, downside is if you don't have the energy, which is that little bar on top, you cannot shoot. And the catch with that is, that bar on top is also your health bar. So if I shoot, I am very fragile. If I use my afterburners here with the basic sprint shift key, it also burns my power. And any other abilities that you have access to also cost power in some form or another. So that is the real trick with this game. You have to balance your power to a point where, based on the situation essentially there. If you want to be super aggressive, then you're going to have to deal with the fact you could die immediately if you're caught off guard. Or if you need to be really defensive resilient, you want to kind of play more passively and try and take the hits as they come essentially, and not be able to do much counterattacking, or try and find a healthy balance where you can shoot but not drain your energy to the point where you immediately die to a lucky shot. So, like I showed off, this is the Warbird here for this game mode. The ships do alter for all different game modes, unfortunately though, so it can be a little complex to try to figure it out. Especially if you're one that wants to try all the game modes out. Because traditionally in the original game mode, the Warbird is like the all-rounder type ship that's really great for pretty much new players. And it still is the case actually with the simple one-shot mechanic. You just need to be pretty good at leading your shot, as well as knowing when they can maneuver around or not. Like so. Because basically how I move around, the bullet's going to move that way. And if they don't have a chance to maneuver in time, then, well, crap. Enough ranting around though. Let's see, the other team has the beacon. There's about 50 seconds left, so I'm going to try and contribute to that a little bit. But not too much to it here. This is an old favorite to a lot of people. Even now, this is like the highest population server right now, from what I understand. 170 people currently playing. I don't know if that's influenced by Steam at all or not, because I don't know what it was before it came on the Steam. But there's still plenty of people, at least on this server here. Very rare cases, it will make a new server if there's too many on this one match. So, we could be in a situation where the population can be divided, which I don't think it is. There may be two servers with like 180 here, because I'm certainly not seeing it too terribly crowded. I just don't know what the cap is. Otherwise, we're a bit surrounded here, and I just got annihilated. And they just got the score, so let's try out the Javelin here. This is supposed to be like a high-speed type of hit and runner ship. It's got, for generic game modes, the original game modes, it has the highest speed of any ship in the game. And in the case, it still is the same. But for Trench Wars, it actually has a really weird way of firing its weapons. In this case, your pellet actually shoots backwards. So and you also have yourself some kind of missile that you can lob, which is probably your main way of doing damage. You fire it off, it does an explosion. I believe it does have proximity to it, so if you can lob it close enough to the enemy, it will detonate on him. But the bullet's not nearly as powerful as the regular ships, and that was a lucky shot by him. Stupid Hellkite. I'm actually really fond of this ship here, although not so much for Trench Wars, just because of how the bullet animation is. Not only is my bullet round weaker, it is also a little tricky to hit with that. You kind of dive right on top of them and hope they don't know you're there or coming in order for them to prepare for your interception. Because you gotta speed right in there, especially with something like that Leviathan, which is that blue ship right there. That's a heavy bomber. of sorts, so it can have a very powerful attack. And we just begun our round, which is probably not the best place here. Let's see if we could take something out. Alright, we got a Warbird. I can be happy with 1-1 trade. So next, number 3 is the Spider for Trench Wars. This one I think is kind of the all-around fighter there. It's not exactly the easiest, because your bullet is pretty much weaker than that Warbird there with its one-shot mechanic. This one, you need at least 3 consistent hits, I believe, to actually kill something. Or if they waste their rounds like that, then you can get a kill off them easy. Since, like I mentioned earlier, the shots also cost energy. So you're a little bit weaker. You're kind of relying on your mobility to basically dodge their shot and then counterattack while they're low health. You're kind of relying on them to make the mistakes for you, and then you just capitalize on it. In the normal game modes though, the Spider is actually like a cloak and run type of ship. You cloak it, you wait for an opportunity to do a vicious strike on your opponent where they don't see you coming, essentially. In this mode, it's pretty straightforward fighter. In this case, I flew right into that shot. God damn it. But fond memories. I can't remember which one was my favorite though. At least for Trench Wars. I think it was the Terrier, but I'll have to go through these to kind of be certain. But this one's actually a relatively good all-rounder. It's just not simple because you have to dodge like their one-shot abilities. But if you are flexible, this thing can be pretty strong for you. And next up is the Leviathan, which I mentioned already. It was the heavy bomber in the original game modes, and it's still the case here. The only difference is they made it slow as hell for this game. And you get a relatively potent type of shot there. It's got 2 bullets there, which actually makes it a little bit easier to hit your targets. But of course, the main benefit to this ship is it has access to a really powerful torpedo. Let me just activate the rockets here. Well, that wasn't much of a rocket, was it now? Because that blue rocket there, especially in Trench Wars, has a massive AoE. That's gonna kill something if anything's nearby. I don't think it has proximity though, so you have to be good about aiming it towards a wall. Ugh. And that is not what you want there, is to be surrounded by 3 hostiles. So I think I may have to do an attachment feature here. I don't know who's up there. Oh, I can't attach because of the Leviathan, because that would be... I guess that's a balance thing. Considering the Leviathan would be so dangerous if it was able to just teleport up there. So, I'm having a really hard time showing this off, sadly. So, I don't know how to demonstrate the potency of this bomb. Yeah, and it doesn't have a proximity, so this is like the worst place to have this Leviathan at. So, I'm gonna try and get to the fortress as quickly as possible. If they'll let me, which they won't. I'm gonna have to try again on this the Leviathan after. Next up, the Terrier. Oh yes. This is definitely my ship a little bit, although it does have a slow rate of fire to it. It's got relatively weak bullets to it. It's slow rate of fire, but is like, at least in this game mode, it looks like it's the fastest without using your thrusters. So it is strictly a hit and runner, kind of like how the Javelin was. Only difference is it relies on its bullets rather than the missiles, I guess. And it's got really high mobilities, because I'm not even using my thrusters for here. I don't even think the thrusters give it any added agility, does it? Actually, yeah, it speeds up quite a bit there. Ow. And it's also one of those ships that actually have an X-radar scanner, which, like I mentioned with the Spider earlier, which had the ability to cloak, the Terrier in trench mode, or yes, the Trench Wars even has that X-radar to kind of detect cloakers. It may not be a Spider, I think it's the Lancaster that does that. So yeah, you do a lot of hit and runs there. It's probably a little awkward being in the base though. You kind of want to hit them before they get to the base, essentially. If I understand this right. And you just try to shoot them there, and those gotta be careful of those mines, because they hurt. If anyone runs... Ooh, was that a mine? Was that the blue torpedo that killed me? That probably was what it was. Yeah. So next we'll move on to the weasel. What is this one? Oh, this is one that has this... the original game mode spider's role, essentially. This is the cloak hidden runner. It does take up energy to utilize, but like I said, you can cloak up to him, and with that blue round that the Warhawk has, which is basically a one-shot kill in this game mode, you can cloak. They will not see you coming except for the Terrier, which does have its X radar. The only downside, of course, it is a little bit slow. So you're probably not going to rely on this too terribly much. You're just waiting for someone to come to you, I think, rather than otherwise. Let's see if I can get close enough to someone. Oh, nope, I just died to a torpedo. I wasn't even looking at the screen, so I don't know if that was a blue torpedo or not. Like I said, this is a nice one-shot kill if the warbird isn't quite your thing. It is a little bit slower shot though, so not exactly reliable. You have to be patient, slow, and steady there. And of course, with both the modules up, you shouldn't have to... It does drain energy slowly, but if you're patient, you're gonna guaranteed kill anyone who's you can sneak up on. So next up is the Lancaster. This is kind of like a generic fighter, I believe. It has no special traits, but it does have decent rate fire. It has wide bullet arc. It's like one of the only ships that has the multi-shot functionality. So you can get a really wide arc on a target. It's not a guaranteed kill. Probably a two-shot if I understand correctly. So you're using this more of a brawler in a sense. Not really a hit and runner like the Terrier, but it can do a lot of damage if you can hit them at least twice consecutively. And with the decent speed and good accuracy with the double bullets, because it still counts as only one bullet if they both hit. So really you're only using it to keep accurate. And finally, last but not least, we got the Shark. It also has got itself the X radar for dealing with those cloakers, but the unique thing about this ship is all it has is torpedoes. Which doesn't sound too terribly bad, except the issue is the torpedoes don't actually propel forward. This is quite literally a mine layer with a little bit of potential to do bombing runs on targets if you can get high mobility going. So yeah, you can, instead of firing your bombs, oh crap, that was close, you can lay yourself some mines there and just be, like I just said earlier, crap, thanks there, buddy, for getting me killed like that. You can just pretty much be a mine layer if that's your style. Especially with the base there having only one direct path, especially its main entrance here, you can pretty much just mine lay and be a annoying son of a bitch to anyone who's on the other teams. This can be a little bit fun if you're all about putting the mines in awkward places. There are ways to deal with the mines though. Some of the ships have something called a repulsor, which can... Ow. Died to a damn random bullet there of all things from the Terrier. But let's see. Yeah, repulsor. Let me see if I can actually find some mines. Because what it does is it actually pushes away any projectiles near you. I honestly don't remember what key it is though. Oh, that just changes. Ah! I am completely lost what the keys are. Maybe I should have looked at that ahead of time. Just to save face a little bit. But yeah. These are all the classes here. That's their function in... at least in trench warfare. And now let's get ourselves an actual proper game going. Probably won't do the shark here for this. I'm probably gonna switch to something else in a moment. Oh, I do have another mine somewhere. Alright, let's get this game started, shall we? See if I can have a little bit of luck then trying to explain all this. There is still a little bit extra that I have not included, but hey, it's been ages since I played this game, so even I forget some of all the abilities. Like there's the rockets that I used in one of the introductions there that gives you a massive speed boost for a short time, and in this case I have no upgrades at all for the Warhawk. But it got me a really nice shot there. Semlum Chandarl is down. They do have the base heavily fortified though. And that's the repulsor right there I just mentioned. A good way to deflect a shot if it's coming right at you. You need to be quick though. Like that poor fellow there, didn't see that coming. We got a little bit of momentum. We got a good number of us out here, but need some more friendlies to actually push if I'm gonna get anything done here. Ooh, that was a nice shot as well. He did get anchored by a terrier though. Nope, I missed that shot. That was not good. I grabbed one of the power-ups for, I think it was a full charge. And I missed the shot when I needed it. Ooh, that was bad luck. I just flew right into that random mine. That's pretty much one of the main things about Subspace. It's completely random chaos. Especially with the other game modes where you have multiple teams rather than just the two that we have now. And like I said earlier, if you really wanted to, or you had the people do it, you could set up yourself a third team if you want. We're using what they call frequencies there. I can't remember the hotkey code off the top of my head, but it allows you to switch your team. Like currently there's team 1, team 2. You can set your team frequency to like 300, 666, whatever's to your liking there. I think even 1367, it goes up to 4 digits, I think. Oh, his repulsor, he almost failed him there because my bullet was still hovering right next to him. Not doing so well with the Warbird, but I managed to somehow dodge those 2 shots. And it just got me a double kill. I don't know what the money value is supposed to be. I believe that's just score in general. Ooh. I did not see that round coming. Yeah, there's score. I'm assuming that's all score, even though it shows money on it. Because you see things like most kills, events going on. Like, it seems like we just had an event go on where you get the most terrier kills, which are the red ships flying around now, who promptly just blew up. So, if you can get the most terrier kills, you get bonus score. So that's fun there. Keeps the little events going there, even if you're not, for some reason, not focusing on the objective, because it just keeps going on and on. It just repeats after a minute or two if someone were to win the round, for whatever reason. And speaking of which, when's the round starting? I'm trying to find the message there, but I don't see it. And we got that damn mine layer just camping there, this cheeky bugger. And he hit me with the damn round, so I couldn't get my shot off. Thankfully, I couldn't get the shot off, otherwise that round probably would have killed me as well. But yeah, there's only one way into the base there. You could probably harass people by going around back from the outside. But not much else you could do. Ooh, that was a good shot by him. Not really fond of the Warbird too much, so let me go Lancaster. I like the fire potential of this thing. It could take on spiders who only shoot like 1 or 2 rounds. It has enough power to really kill something that's withholding its energy for its durability. Ooh, nice double kill there, but ooh, damn it. I'm late for the round again. That's like the 3rd time in a row, I think, where I died just as the round starts. I do need to find a good position, though. And this guy is dropping mines, so I need to be very careful. Those are not friendly bombs. Ah, and I was EMP'd. Which one was it doing the EMP? Was that the mine? Yeah, it was the shark that was doing that. It drops EMP mines, I forgot to explain. So it keeps my energy from recharging. Hey there, buddy. Ooh, that was embarrassing. I missed the second shot expecting to kill him. Huh, you missed. He didn't though. Everyone's just mindlessly dying and respawning, so it's not working out well for me. What was that warning? Oh, message. Oh, event. 20. Oh, uneven teams. That's what it's saying. Okay. So we're probably an uneven team if I were to guess. I'm not sure. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, there's the extra teams that I'm showing there. I'm frequency 1, the other team's frequency 2, and it looks like there's another frequency team down there. We're only 2 people. Oh, frequency 0 even, I take that back. So yeah, that's pretty much how, that's the description of it right there. Now, let's get back to this fighting here. Let's get another few minutes in. Hopefully, I can actually contribute here. Ah. I burned my afterburns too much. Trying to get in there. See if I can get in there. I have no abilities on this Lancaster though. It's just purely all bullet damage. So that's 2 down. Got a hit on him, but I can't finish off the javelin. And if I want to, I got the multi-bullet. The downside is more energy, more accurate, but it's a longer rate of fire. And like I said, only 1 bullet, it only counts as 1 bullet, even if multiples were to hit. So it's not the most as powerful as you would think, unfortunately. It just allows you a reliable way to kill something that you know is low health. It's kind of like Quake or any kind of shooter game, 1v1 shooter games like that there, where you're trying to constantly guess their health. Well, really guess the health of pretty much anyone there that you don't directly see a health bar. Quake comes to mind in that sense because it has that concept in 1v1. You have to guess what their armor's at, their health. And this is pretty much the same. Only difference, it's really easy to figure out with the warbirds because they only can get 1 shot. And then they're down to like 200 health. Just a matter of catching them when their energy is low. Yeah, got the shot off and he couldn't shoot. I was hoping he would shoot me first though. So what are these warnings? Oh, last call for a large map. Okay. So I guess it's to try and make the map bigger there. Got me a double kill. It's always fun. Oh crap. Let's try for 1 more round. Or actually, they already have the objective. So let's try for the next 2 minutes then. See if we can get back or not. I'm willing to say no, considering that they have already entrenched there and our teams are uneven at the moment. So don't think there's much chance of that there unless we can get some miraculous kill potential in, because they can keep teleporting in after all. So it's 1 down, 2 Warhawks. Now if I only can get that hit in. Okay, I got 2 Warhawks. There's a lot of Warhawks here, and I just got hit, damn it. So Glitch Bomber, let me find Glitch, or the Glitch Doctor. Ah, he dies as soon as I teleport him. Thank you very much, Glitch. Your contribution is noted. So we got 40 seconds. I doubt we're going to be able to get it. Oh. Gotta watch that. Nearly got myself killed flying to that bullet. Ooh, I'm on a streak now. I'm not killing anyone at this point, so I need to get out of here. I'm assuming that bomb's hostile. Ooh. bomb of all things what killed me. It was a good run there, but as soon as they knew I was there, it pretty much ended. So he teleported out. Oh, I got cloaked run. Cloaked down. We got 30 seconds to try and grab it. Not likely to happen though. So, lots of warbirds. Oh, I almost got the hit there. And I missed again. And I don't know who's up there to teleport to, so... And 10 seconds, so we're not going to win this, unfortunately, or even get it. So yeah, game over there. Well, that was my first video on the Subspace there. Getting to show everyone a taste of what the basic game modes are. I'm probably going to do another one of my favorite game mode, which would be the capture flag, or what is it? It's basically capture flag, the beacons. Because there's a lot of depth and diversity in that game. So thanks for watching.